Hello and welcome to the Amateur Football YouTube channel. Happy Saturday evening. I have a very special guest, a former pro footballer, played for Shrewsbury Town, Carlisle United, Northampton Town, a Ghanaian international. Ghanaian international. Let me just say that from the beginning. Welcome to the platform, Derek Asamoah. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing really good. Thank you for having me. I'm doing good.
Cool, great stuff. So, you know what? Can you kind of tell the people out there your journey and from start to finish?
Yeah, sure. My journey in football began obviously when I was probably a toddler, too young to even remember. But I was told by my parents that from as young as 3, I was very keen playing football, and I think that followed me through my childhood. And I always knew what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be a footballer, and getting to that stage was the next challenge. I got into football really late. Um, I was one of those people that I don't know. I think um, in terms of playing style, in terms of footballing ability, I was there with everyone. But in terms of style and size, I was very small growing up. So I didn't have the chance to play for my school because everyone was just that much bigger than me and very physical. I never got that chance to play for my school. I never got a chance to play for any youth team or any academy football. So I just literally learned everything myself. Like, just obviously the time I was growing up, YouTube wasn't about that much, and it was hard to get hold of material to watch. So I just literally just taught myself on whatever I could watch on the TV, and just like try to play local football as much as possible, and still having that dream, that flame burning, that one day that I want to become a professional footballer. But it was very difficult, and I didn't turn professional until I turned 20 years old. So yeah, that's basically how little short story of how I became a professional footballer.
Oh, brilliant. And anyone that's kind of out there watching, like, never give up. As as
No,
long as you're working hard, your
mm,
kind of opportunities will come. So
yeah.
let's go straight into the title of this video: amateur to pro. What it,
Uh,
what you need to play at the professional level.
mm.
So let's go straight into the first point, and that's ability. So Derek, can you literally kind of expand on that, please?
Yes, for sure. You need the ability in any walks of life. If you want to, whatever you want to do, whether it's rugby, tennis, you need to have fundamental like ability to be able to do to be able to perform what you need to do. Um, like I said in the intro, I had bundles of ability, and that alone didn't get me where I want where I want to be. But since the title ability, so important, you need to work on, like, because I knew the type, even though I didn't get any coaching or anything, I knew the type of player I wanted to be. I knew I won't be the biggest. I knew I was going to be fast. So what I did was work on my on skills that's going to help me with with my attributes. Like, I'm quick, so I need to move the ball fast. I need to knock the ball. I need to use my pace. Do you understand? Just really
Mm.
build myself as a player around the sort of player I want to be. So I knew the sort of player I wanted to be. So that's all I did. Just work. I knew I needed to get stronger to be able to withhold challenges. I knew that I needed tighter ball control because I want to be the strongest, so to speak. So I needed to be quicker, sharper with the ball. So I took all that into consideration, and I work day and night every single day. Like sometimes 3 or 4. I go out in the morning. I don't come back in to the evening because I know that I'm not getting the training I need to improve my ability from the people playing in academy football or playing what sort of football. So I needed to make up for it, and that's all basically what I did. Like I said, ability is so important, but it's also not the only thing you need to succeed in football, from going from amateur to professional.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I mean, what I kind of always say is that sometimes you can kind of buy the most expensive boots, you can kind of buy the kit, but if you don't have the ability, then literally nothing else will work. The kind of fundamentals just have to be there. And actually, can I ask you in terms of what like age, did you know? Okay, you know what? I am quick. I am strong. I've got a low sense of gravity. I can use this to my advantage.
I knew when I was about 16. Like I said, it was really challenging for me trying to play, because back then, I know it's a bit better now with the likes of Barcelona, the likes of Man City, where smaller stature players get more of a chance. But back then, when I was playing, it was impossible. You needed to be 6'6". You needed to be built like a, do you know what I mean? So the only way that I could make it is being able to get behind players and get behind defenders. So once I knew that, when I was racing people, once I knew I was winning every race, when I was racing against my friends and like no one could keep up with me, a light bulb lit in my head and said, do you know what? If you can work with the ball, with your pace, your dream is not dead. You know what I mean? You can still make it as a professional. So when I was about 16, that's when I realized that I can still play, even though I was getting knockbacks from my school team and stuff like that. Once I knew that I was quick, then my confidence shot right up.
Wow, amazing. So before we go to the second point, I'm gonna show the viewers out there, and again, thank you for everyone that's watching. Thank you for people who are watching it on the replay. Let's show you guys just a snippet in terms of what Mr. Asamoah can do, even up to this day. Let's go.
Use your speed and get there. Harry coming forward to the big space again here. Is it? United. Side step is in. Comes on Asamoah! He scored! United score in front of the cup! It's KR 1-1 in Liverpool!
Amazing. I mean, how was it scoring at the Kop end against Liverpool?
Wow. It was an unbelievable moment for me, because at the end of the day, I'm a Liverpool supporter, and I had never been to Anfield before. That was one of the things I needed to do. Do you understand? I've never been to Anfield, and I never dreamed that the first time I was going to go to Anfield was to play against my boyhood team. That was just unbelievable, to go on and play and score at the Kop end was just unreal. But at the same time, I had the confidence. I had the confidence. I had the belief that, do you know what, football, even though it seemed that at the time the two teams are levels apart, But in terms of football, in terms of my ability and the people on the and the players for Liverpool, in terms of ability, I don't think I'm far off, and I rated myself higher than some of the players there. That's the sort of confidence that I had about myself. So I took that into the game, and I was not there was no starstruck. There was no. I just had a job to do, and I went out there, and that made me relax. That made me. I mean, before the round before that game, we played against QPR, and I scored and set up another goal as well. So Liverpool, there was a lot of talk about how they were going to deal with me, and I'm thinking, wait, hold on a minute. I'm playing at this level, and this is Liverpool, and they're talking about how they were going to deal with me. So it gave me a lot of confidence as well, and know that they've noticed that I'm not, even though the level I'm playing at, come towards the end of my career, I can still mix it and do a bit, and that's what I did. And yeah, it was an amazing feeling, and to this day, every time I see that goal, it just feels so good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Amazing. So the like second bullet point is work ethic. And Derek, I'll just pass it straight on to you. I mean, what type of work ethic do you need to become a professional footballer?
Where do I start? I think that was what got me where I was, because I was prepared to do the work that nobody was prepared to do. Because around my area, we had a lot of good players around my area. You understand? And I understood that my chance could come at any moment. So I cannot afford, if for example, I get a call from whoever, wherever, that this team wants to see you, I cannot afford not to be ready, because that chance might come around once or might never come around again. So my mentality was always to stay ready. So the work ethic that I put in, day out, every day I went for a run. Every day I was in the gym. Every day. And I was chasing something that was invisible, because I couldn't see. There was nothing. It wasn't like there was something I was working towards. There was no trial at the end of a week. There was nothing. But I still managed to keep that same mentality that maybe something will come at the end of the week. And I took that into the professional game, and I think that helped me, because it's one thing making it, and so many players make it, but they don't have longevity, like 20 years, 15 years. Sometimes they have 2, 3, because they get in there and they relax. You know what I'm saying? And they forget about their work ethic. They forget about what got them there in the first place. You know, and I'm trying. My son is trying to make it as a professional at the moment as well, and I'm trying to teach him right now that work ethic is so important. Just because I made it as a professional, it doesn't guarantee you, okay? Because he played for Reading from 8 years old to he was nearly 16, and he didn't work out there. But I'm trying to show him that it's not the end of the road. You have to keep working, and now he's getting it. Now he's understanding that the work effort you need to go from where you are now to where you want to be. It can't just be half. Oh, I went out today to train for an hour, but that's not good enough. It might be good enough for yourself to think that, yeah, I went out, but did you really put in the work? Did you really spend that much time, or are you just doing it just to satisfy yourself that, yes, I went out, I did something? No, you need to go out 2, 3, 4 hours, you know what I mean, till it hurts, so that when a chance comes, you won't mess it up, because you know how hard you have to train to get to where you want to be. And once you get there, all that hard work, you're going to think about it, and you will not want to come out. But if you're just lazy and just going through the motion, even if you do get where you want to be, you will not have longevity. So work effort, to get that mentality at a young age, at the early stage of your career is so important and underrated.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So we've got two like comments from the same person. So Vic Powell, 1984, he's like giving you all of the claps and all of the blessings, which is great. And he's also asked another question: How was the pressure feeling when you made it to your first pro club?
How's it? Like the title of your show is just describes me perfectly, because I was playing amateur football and I managed to get into an amateur league, and because I'm the type of player, I don't feel too much pressure. For some reason, I never really felt. I understand his question, but I'm trying to answer it in the best possible way, because I didn't allow pressure to affect me. But I can understand that pressure can be a big factor, especially jumping from amateur to professional. But it was just something that was gonna happen eventually. Whether it happened then, it was gonna happen one day, and I was more than ready to perform at that level, because I always taught myself that if I'm not having a good game, I can affect the game a different way. I can make it difficult to open it. I can put myself about, run about, or I always had situations where I can rescue myself and not. So I had a lot of ammunition going into games, or going into signing. A lot of people was making a big deal out of it, but I felt that it was something natural, and I didn't feel the pressure side of it too much. I guess I just went with the flow, and the worst thing you can do is like play the moment out. Sometimes you just have to like play down, just like the Liverpool game. I played it down. I played down, like it's only like 11 against 11, you v me. But in the back of your mind, you know there's 60,000, 50,000 people watching. It's live on TV. But if you allow yourself to play the occasion, that's where you're going to fall short. So I just took it in my stride, pretending that I'm still out there playing with my friend. I mean, it's football. You know, you understand? It's football. Yeah. Something I love doing, something I've been doing since 3. So it made. I'm sorry if that wasn't the answer he was looking for.
No, you know what? That kind of makes sense, because again, it's kind of all the way back to your kind of work ethic comment. Like once you've worked so hard to actually like get to the pro level, then it's that's like probably like one of like the biggest pressures. So then literally when you kind of go to your first club, or if it's your debut, you are just there just to enjoy it, and there's kind of
100%.
No like pressure on you, because of course like your managers picked you, your kind of coaches picked you, like know you, and of course you've like got the respect of your teammates because you've worked so hard to even get there. So
exactly.
Everything, funny enough, leads straight back into work ethic. So yeah, that's an amazing answer. So before we go into the third point, I will show you guys another couple of seconds of a highlight reel from Mr. Derek Asamoah. That's amazing. I mean, again, looking at like the highlights and your goals and your assists, you're a very direct player. Every single fullback knew that they would be in a very hard game every time they played against you, right?
100%. And I love the battles over the years against fullbacks, and like I said, once I knew I was fast, I don't allow the fullbacks to settle, because once you let the fullbacks settle, then you're then not necessarily he's got the upper hand, but I just loved running at them because they get on. Nobody likes running backwards. Nobody likes it, you know. So it was really, really enjoyable. That's something I love doing. That's what I practice all day, every day, every day. As soon as the ball comes to my feet, my first touch is forward. My first touch, I'm literally passing it into you, telling you to make a decision whether you're gonna stick a foot out to try and get it, which I'll knock it past you, or you're gonna run backwards, which I'll run with you. Then I'll probably drop a shoulder and go past you. So I made it very, very difficult. But again, it's my work. If I put in the work and I mastered my craft, and sometimes when you're in academies, they tend to teach these things out of you. Do you know what I mean? They tend to teach it out of you, because I probably wasn't in the academy. I was able to learn all these things and perfect it without somebody telling me turn back and lay it back, turn back and lay it back. So I was able to make so many assists and score so many goals just from being direct and from just learning off the streets and learning off my own back.
Yeah, amazing. So the third point is strong support and also being grounded. And in terms of my limited experience, you know, I kind of had trials at, you know, Leeds United, Huddersfield, Sheffield United, and literally, you know, the thing that I noticed, you know, even at that young age, and of course, you know, I kind of never made it at all to the pro game, is you like saw the kind of boys with like their mum and dad or brother or sister, and you know, everyone at that time were acting so professional, and you know, again, you know, no one like was boastful, even with like a few exhibition games, you know, even like in the changing room, you know, you can tell when like someone is almost like a prima donna and things like that. There was like nothing like that. And you know, I kind of believe it kind of comes from having a good, strong support, you know, support network, and kind of also as well having really good and grounded friends as well, that literally know you for you. And you know, I mean, of course, like there were like times where, you know, I would say certain things or like do like certain things which was, you know, a little bit bougie, and my friends and especially like my mum would just literally tell me exactly how, you know, how it is, and that grounded me, and you know, I've kind of like stuck with that, and you know, literally that's kind of something that I kind of take into everything that I do, just kind of having that strong support network. And yeah, you know, I would kind of love to kind of get your opinions about having a support network and also being grounded.
My support network in terms of football, I think my support network came from not football, so to speak. It's just from the way I was brought up, the way I was raised, the way my mum and dad installed discipline in me, whether it's my schoolwork or whether it's anything I do. They always wanted me to do it to the best of my ability. Why I'm not relating it to football too much is because my parents didn't know much about football. They weren't into football. They were more worried about my academical side. You understand? They want me to go to college. They want me to go to university. They want me to be
Ghanaian parents, though, innit?
Ghanaian parents. You know what I mean? Well, football was not on their agenda, and I think what I got from them in terms of support that I brought into football, that I related into football, was my upbringing. But in terms of getting lift to football ground, non-existent. In terms of that, can I have these boots? I want to play. What do you need these boots for?
Yeah.
Go steady.
Yeah.
You understand? In terms of
Yeah.
until maybe when I got to 18 and he saw that I wanted to pursue football, this is my dream. That's when maybe he started to understand that this boy, this is what he wants to do. But from when I was probably till 16, 17, there was no like support in terms of football, because I wasn't really doing much in terms of football. I wasn't in an academy, I wasn't in a school team, I wasn't playing for any local team. I was just, do you know what I mean? And in terms of staying grounded as when I became a pro, is that the question?
Yeah.
And in terms of staying grounded, it's all about my upbringing again, and it's all about how hard I worked to get to where I was, that I was not prepared to, do you know what I mean? It made me grounded that at any time I can go back to what I used to know, which was before football. I was working on a building site, like up and down the stairs, and I didn't want that. And what made me grounded and make me work even more harder is because I didn't want to go back to that life, and I wanted to push myself to the next level. But sometimes, because I didn't have that much support, I think sometimes I'm overcompensating for my son in terms of I give him too much support. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
I wake him up on match day. This is what I was doing like maybe 7 months ago, 8 months ago. I wake him up before football. I tell him what to eat. I put him in my car. I get him. Then I suppose speaking to one other parent, and he said something that made me realize. He said that sometimes as parents we might want it more than the kids. He has to want it. You have to set him free. You have to let him get the train. Let him. Do you know what I mean? Don't make it too easy for him. You understand? So sometimes too much support can be bad, which I've learned now. Is very independent. He does everything, and he's improving his game as well. And he's kind of reminding me of myself, so to speak. So, and it will help him to stay grounded, because he knows that he's starting to work hard for it, and he's going to appreciate it more when he makes it. And he's starting to let go of some friends, just like I did. I lost a lot of friends, which I'm reconnecting now. Every time they see me, they're like, "Hey, Derek, I never saw you without a ball. You never wanted to come anywhere with us. You never wanted to do anything. It's just you and football. So I had to cut off a lot of friends. I became very lonely and very, do you understand? So in terms of support from my friend, they were on something different. They all wanted to, because, birds of a feather flock together. They all wanted to play football, but at some point they decided that, do you know what, it's it's fairy tale. So they're gonna go and do whatever they want to do, whether it's partying, whether it's chasing girl or whatever. I just wanted to play football, so I had to cut a lot of them out. So is
Oh, I can't hear you now. Yes, I can.
Sorry, I was getting a call through. Yes. I don't know how to. Let me just end it. Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Yeah, yes, sorry about that, guys. Yeah,
no problem.
What was that? Yeah, so in terms of support from friends and stuff, sometimes you have to leave them behind and just concentrate on what you want to do. And it's great if you've got the support, but if you don't, push on and don't give up. Just keep working hard, and I'm sure your dreams will come true.
Amazing advice. So before we go on to the next bullet point, some more highlights from Derek Asamoah. Amazing. I mean,
Wow.
how was that goal against that QPR? Like you kind of turned in one way and then you just slotted it in the kind of bottom left corner.
Yeah, it was one of my other players actually done all the hard work. I was just in the right position to slot it underneath the keeper. But what I was most impressed about was my assist, because it was 1-1, and I started the game as well, and this was in the 80 something minute. It was almost full time. And what impressed me is that I had the energy at that age. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm saying conditioning from a young age is so important. I had that energy to be able to breeze past a defender in the 80th minute, 83rd, 84th minute, whatever it was, and still have the awareness to knock it across goals for easy tapping for my teammates. You know, that sometimes I feel assisting players, for me, gives me more satisfaction sometimes, because, like I said, I worked on my pace. You saw there with my pace, knocked it in. And it was just an amazing feeling. And as you can see, the crowd went wild, and that's what we played football for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Amazing. So the next point is having an active network. So yeah, like literally how was your network, and you know, your kind of your footballing network really, like can you kind of literally talk about how important is it to actually be in the right circles?
It's more important now as I've gained more experience. I know about it. And when I was obviously coming up in football, I had probably zero network. You understand? When there was nothing. It was really hard. I was like, it's not like today where you got YouTube, you can put some stuff on YouTube, you can do whatever you want. I was literally pen and paper, writing letters to clubs, writing letters to agents, writing letters, and I'll be getting literally, like, sometimes I won't be getting no replies. I must have sent over 90 letters to clubs, and I had nothing in return. Sent some to agents, I had nothing in return either. So it was very, very, very difficult. It was heartbreaking sometimes, because you have the confidence and you have the ability and you have the knowledge to do something, but you're just not getting the opportunity because you don't know anyone. My father, you know, he's not a footballer. He knows no one in football. My friends, they don't really talk much. The ones that was in academy, they weren't really helping, you know. And is really important. Like from my experience now, you need to be in with good network. You know what I mean? Sometimes football, you can have all the ability in the world. You can have, I am 100% sure that there's someone out there that's probably better than Messi, but they will never get the opportunity because they don't have the network, or they don't have anyone to push them, or they don't have anyone to support them. So it's very important. Put yourself in the right, wherever you can play football, wherever there's a tournament, go play, talk to people, talk to coaches, talk to the other players, make good friends. Now you've got Instagram and stuff, connect with people on Instagram. If there's an agency on Instagram, send a few. Like, I get all the time, I get people asking me to help them to find clubs. Every day I get messages. Even though I'm not an agent, I can sometimes I can go into their profile and see if they're serious or not. So it's very important to make sure, if you are emailing or texting people and sending your Instagram or Facebook, make sure that you got something on there that I can see that, wow, this guy can do this. Wow, this guy, actually, let me speak to this guy and see what he thinks. Do you know what I mean? So it's very important. Network. when I was younger, I was very shy. I think that held me back at least 3 or 4 years before I made it into like the top leagues. That held me back because I was very shy. I wasn't talking. I wasn't networking. I wasn't even talking to the coach because I felt a type of way about talking. But it's very, very, very important to network and get as much resources as possible and get as many connections. Just connect now. Internet can connect with everyone. Just keep getting connection, and while you're working, keep working on your network as well.
Yeah, no, amazing. So quick question. So if I contacted you and you looked on my Instagram, what are the things that you're looking for in like my highlight reel?
Obviously I'm looking for, because you're asking me to help you, so I can't be saying send me videos. I can't be saying let me see how you. I need to go to your profile and see something. Like, even if you go to my Instagram, just imagine that I wanted to, if I was actively wanting to make it into professional again, and I was at the right age. If someone looked onto my profile, if I spoke to an agent and went onto my profile, they'll be able to see that, wow, the stuff on there. I'm not saying it has to be amazing, but you have to have something on there that will make me pay attention. You need to get some sort of highlight video of you playing the game, of your best bits and showing what you can do. And because at the end of the day, clubs, especially at a young age, never look for the finished article. They look for something they can work with. And if you are showing glimpse of something that maybe a team might need, if you're like me, if I was fast, I'll just be showing highlight. I'll just be on the tracks, just running, show you, like clocking my 100-meter time on there, showing you how high I can jump, showing you my, even in just training, showing my close control, showing my shooting. Then if I do play matches, I make sure that somebody's there filming it so that I can put it up to make it easier, to make me more attractive to, do you know what I mean? Just like, if you want to look good for girls on your Instagram, if you want to look good for you dress up, you put nice pictures up. The same thing. If you want to impress a scout, if you want someone to take you serious, think about it. Put something that is easy on the eyes to see, not something that's blurry, and you have more chance. Because a lot of the time I get these people texting me, I go into their profile and I'm like, well,
we're not serious.
You know what I mean? Give me something. Yeah, give me. I'm not saying they're not a good player. They might be good players, but give me something to work with. You understand? Give me something to work for. Otherwise, yeah, it's very important. Now it's a lot easier. You got to use the internet, use Facebook, use Instagram, because, you know what I mean? It's very important.
And it's funny because it's kind of linked to like work ethic. You've got to work with these social media platforms, to like put your highlight, to put videos, put pictures on like all of the social media platforms. Like that is literally almost like your gateway now. So yes, you can work in your game within work ethic, but also when you're kind of not training, when you're kind of not playing, are you playing on the PS5 now? Are you kind of playing Call of Duty, or literally are you kind of making selfie videos, introducing yourself to like coaches or to agents, and literally that does come down to work ethic.
It is, and we spoke about that as well. Different forms of work ethic, and that's a major part. And like I said, nice little introduction video. I'm this, I played this position, these are some of my highlights, check them out. If you know somebody that can help me out, don't be shy to put that out, because you know what I mean, because the reward is like, it's unbelievable. You know what I mean?
True, 100%. Thank you for everyone that's been watching. Please put in your questions, and either myself or Derek will literally answer them. So before we go on to the next point, some more videos of Derek Asamoah. That's amazing. And you know what? I kind of literally like that montage because, you know, it shows what we again talked about, work ethic in terms of closing down the goalkeeper and like doing like the ugly stuff that people don't necessarily think is sexy, but you know, it kind of helps the whole team. And you know, I literally like that little 30-40 second montage.
But trust me, I can do any skill with the ball. I'm not even boasting about myself. I can do what step overs, rainbow flicks. I could do all of that on a pitch. You understand? But you can't forget about. I will also if there's a, because players like me don't like doing, because I could have been easily seen as a luxury player. You understand? But I like the work ethic as well. I like helping my team because, like I said, that's what I've grown up to. So I could easily chase my keeper kicking the ball into the corner. I will happily run the defender down and get my team a throw in, or chase down the keeper. Like you said, the ugly part, I will do it all. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't bother to me. And then I can show you the silky side as well. I can show you the neat side as well, the tricky side, the showboating side. Do you know what I mean? I made sure that I have to earn the right to be able to do those stuff. So if it doesn't come off sometimes, the fans know that I will run, and I've got the work rate to go and recover the ball. I've got the work rate to chase a strike. Even though I'm a striker, I've got the work rate to chase a striker down into my area and to help the defense out as well.
Yeah, amazing. So before we go on to the next point, can you kind of talk to us about getting your call up to actually play for Ghana? I mean, you know, can you remember that first phone call, and how like was it in the changing room, and like how did you feel before making your debut?
Oh my God! I wish I could find this video, because I actually made my debut at the age that I said I was going to make it. I done a video when I was in college. I was playing college football, and they were filming us talking about where we want to be in the next 10 years. And I was just talking like, I want to be a professional footballer, and by the age of 25, I want to 24. Sorry, I want to play for my national team, Ghana. So when the call came, I was actually playing for a team called Chester. I was having like a really bad time with the previous team called Lincoln City. So they loaned me out to Chester, and I was having a difficult time. Chester was a horrible time in my football career. My mentality my mental wasn't right. But I was left out the team as well for Chester. Not just left out the starting 11. I was left at home because I was struggling to find myself. But then I got back into it. So that's why football, you need luck sometimes. One of the players that was playing in the starting 11 fell sick on the day of the game. We had an away game. He fell sick, so I could have easily. That's what I talk about. I could have easily went out that day, that Friday, because the game was on a Saturday. I could have easily went, you know what, I'm not playing. I'm going to go out and have fun or do it. But I remained disciplined. I stayed at home. I went to sleep, and I got a call in the morning that you have to go. The team, one of the players pulled out, so you have to go. So I was ready. You know what I mean? Like what I said in the always be ready. So I was ready. So I travelled, went and played the game, scored a hat-trick, played the next game, scored 2 goals, played the next game, scored 1. So at one time, the club was suffering relegation. I managed to score all the goals. I had like 8 goals in 4 games or something like that. And I managed to save the team. So I was in training one day, and the manager comes and says that you've been called up for your national team. I'm like, so it was the assistant. I'm like, what are you talking about being called up? I'm playing in League 2 here. How am I being called? And at that time, Ghana was like, I think they were ranked about 13th or 14th in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They were flying. We had like Asamoah, we had Essien, we had Montari, we had like some really, really good players there. And I was like, what are you actually talking about, Ghana? I'm playing for Chester, fighting relegation battle. When they were telling me that I've been called, it's like, you need to go to the office. I was like, I'm not going. You know what I mean? I'm not. Somebody's gonna go there. Somebody's gonna throw water over me or something. So they managed to convince me to go to the office. I went to the office and it was a fax and it had the Ghana logo on there, and it had all the list of the players that would be selected for this particular match, and my name was on there. So I was like, is this real? Is this real? So I went straight on the internet, typed my name in Ghana as well, and it had it there as well. And the media came straight away to the training ground, started talk, how's it feel? I'm like, this is just unbelievable.
Unreal,
I was not expecting
Crazy.
it. It was a miracle. I was not expecting it. And it's 2 months ago, I was sitting at home. The coach didn't even pick me for the team. You know what I mean? And fast forward 2 months, I'm getting an international call up for Ghana, which was something I always dreamed about, and I just couldn't believe it. It was an amazing feeling.
Amazing. We have another question from Vic Powell. Have you ever tried coaching or other aspects of football?
I've never really tried coaching. Is it something that I would want to do? But my dream is to like own a football club, whether it's amateur, and try to like bring some kids through, like be a chairman of a football club. That's one of my dreams that I want to work towards. But as far as coaching, and I ain't got the qualifications, but with my experience, I can definitely like help people out and teach them what I know. But I don't know, maybe in the future, but right now I'm more, if I was to pick what I want to do regarding being involved in football, is probably to own a football club.
Okay. You know, we may have to talk. After this.
I like that. Connecting, networking. See?
Networking. There you go. Active network. So the next point is sacrifice, and you actually touched upon it in terms of not talking to friends and literally sacrificing your social life. Can you probably elaborate more of other stuff that you've sacrificed?
Yeah, like I said, with my parents, I sacrificed with them as well, because they want to push me in one direction and I want to go in another direction. So it was hard. Do you know what I mean? Making that decision was hard. And at the age of 16, I actually moved out of my house. I moved out of my parents' house and went to live in Southend, because there was a program there that they were doing. I tried the college thing. I went to college in London for about 2 months. I didn't like it, and I heard about a football course in Southend that could potentially coach you and help you like into football. But now I know it wasn't really about that. It was just they were never going to help me get into football. But I took it with a pinch of salt, and I learned as much as I could there. So I sacrificed, moved away from home at 16, and like living on my own and cooking for myself, like just become an adult overnight. And I did it for over a year. So I had to sacrifice. I had to leave my brothers and sisters and stuff like that. But when you want something that badly, you have to be prepared to do whatever is necessary. And it wasn't easy. There was a lot of times where lonely nights, you don't know anyone, and going to Southend at that time was really, really hard, especially as a black man, because there was not a lot of black people in Southend there. So the cultural and the racial barriers as well was very, very difficult for a young man. Do you know what I mean? To deal with, but it was something I had to do, sacrifice I had to make, and I'm glad I did it because it made me stronger as a person. And like I said as well, I had to say goodbye to a lot of my friends because it got to a point where I wanted to push in a certain direction. They got to a point where they were discouraging me, saying, listen, if you was going to make it, you would have made it already. You're just wasting your time. Come, let's do this. Let's hang out. Let's go there. I'm like, no, I can't. You guys, I got enough love for you, but you go and do your thing. I need to stay focused and I need to remain ready. And even now I think about it, for somebody of that age to be able to make that decision without, like I said, with my son, I try and advise him, but there was no one advising me to make that decision at that age. Even like, it's mind blowing when I think back. I had the maturity to actually turn down and say no to certain things. So yeah, I made a lot of sacrifice, and as I say, the harder you work, what you put in, you get back out. So yeah, there was no obstacles that I wasn't prepared to go through.
Yeah, amazing. So again, before we go on to the next point, some more highlights of Derek Asamoah's career. That's amazing, absolutely amazing. So I just want to thank everyone that's watching live. Vic Power that's actually watching live. Thank you very much. And also I want to thank everyone that's been watching this on replay. And the next point is never rest on your laurels. And again, you like touched upon this early, like, you know, once you kind of make it to like the pro level, you know, that's literally where sometimes the hard work begins. And with like my experience, and again, I can't really speak on like, you know, like the pro like level football, but I can kind of definitely talk about it regarding social media. And literally what I'm doing is that, you know, once you hit a certain milestone, whatever milestone that may be, you can't think that the journey is over. That's, you know, again, just starting everything and just resetting everything again. And to me, I kind of always think, okay, so if I've reached this milestone, whatever it is, then you know what? I have to almost double down and like work for the next milestone. And, you know, of course, the next milestone could be shorter. I mean, it could be slightly easier. But again, it's kind of just not sitting back and thinking everything's just going to arrive to me, you know, with a silver spoon, or, you know, people will DM me or things like that. Like you've like got to be prepared to work harder, especially when you're in that privileged position where, you know, people are looking at you as a kind of influence and as an authority, when, you know, like the fans are now relying on you to like assist goals and to score goals. You know, that's kind of literally where the hard work starts, right?
Yeah, 100%. And a lot of the time, this situation is more apparent at academy level. Like I said, my son was at Reading for a long time, and you get the sense of, even at that age, you get the sense of these kids think they've made it. I mean, you walk up to some of them and say, "Oh, you played well today," and they're like, I'm like, yo, look at me when I talk to you. You understand?
Mm.
You know what I mean? So even at that level, you can see that they feel that because they're playing for Reading, and obviously there's a lot of people in their ear that obviously there's a lot of friends when they talk about him. Oh, that's that kid that plays for Reading. Oh, that's that kid that plays for Manchester United. And they relax. You understand? They relax and think they've made it already without kicking. It's great where they are, but you shouldn't relax. This should inspire you to do more. It should inspire you to say, do you know what? I'm here. I want to stay here. In order to stay here, I need to improve. I need to be studying. I need to be looking at the first team. I need to be looking at the position where I play and watch the first team games and see how I can improve my game or how I can adapt to help me progress to the next level. And it's so apparent at the youth team level. But in terms of making it as a professional, a lot of people come out the game as quickly as they got into it, because they get in it and they relax. They think the journey's over, the ride is over. I got to my destination. Now I can relax. That's when you become unstuck, because football is a very cruel game. I've had my highlights, and I've had my lowlights. You understand? It's a very cruel game. Only the strongest person can survive in that environment. You know what I mean? They say football is it's a team game, but at the same time, it's an individual game, but within a team format, so to speak, because you're competing against, before you compete against another team on Saturday, you're competing against your own team. You understand? You have to be better than some of your own team members, and they're trying to outdo you. Sometimes they're trying to hurt you. Sometimes they're trying to go behind your back and giving you wrong advice. Do this, do that. Going behind, talking to them. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. So it's very important to not relax and start listening to people and start thinking that you've made it, and not keeping one eye open and not keep working hard and relaxing and listen to what people say, especially if you're doing well at first. Do you know what I mean? I always say, like, compliments. What do you call it? I forgot the term I usually use. What it means, like, when someone compliments are comfort to food. That's what I usually say. Like, when somebody keep complimenting, and you keep getting a big head and you keep thinking you're better than what you are, you will soon so quickly come out the game so fast, and you'll be like, what the hell happened? You know what I mean? I just became professional. Now I'm not. It's a very short career, and you cannot relax. As soon as you made it, that's the time the work doubles, because at least you got that security of maybe a year's contract, maybe some money in your pocket. Don't waste it and be like, I've made it. Invest in yourself. Don't go and buy the most expensive shirt. Don't go and try and buy the most expensive car or the most expensive shoe. Invest. Build a home gym. Build something that's going to help you get to the next level. It's not about looking good at this moment in time. There's still levels you need to get. So that's where the real footballers have longevity, and the prima donnas come out so quick, and it's a big shock for them. So never ever rest on your laurels.
No. Amazing. We can have a question from Vic Powell, and he said, how do you deal with having a bad run of games?
How do you deal with it? It's a very tough question, but how I deal with it is, like I said, it's what I'm made of, what I'm built of. You understand? I'm built of the tough stuff. I come from I come from, I'm not saying nothing, but in terms of football, I come from nothing to where I am today. So having a bad, I can have maybe 1 game or 2 game maximum bad games, but I can't allow myself to have a 3rd game that is that's unacceptable for me as a professional. Yes, you can go through goal droughts, but there's other things you can do to keep your place. Like I said, there's some games where I try to have a good touch and it comes off my knee and it goes out for a throw. And there's some games I try to shoot and it goes into row Z, nothing is coming off. But what I can't afford to do, I can say to myself, Derek, it's not going to be one of those days for you where you can get the ball and let's adapt your game differently. Okay, maybe take less touches and release the ball, and make sure your work rate, because there's no, for work rate you can't go wrong. There's no substitute like for work rate. If it ain't going right for you up front or whatever, make sure that then your opposition team does not have a good game. So even though I'm used to scoring, or even though I'm used to making assists, if that's not happening in that game, I'm doing other things that I could probably get man in the match for. You understand? I'm closing down everyone. I'm going into the tackles hard, winning the ball and releasing it. So I don't think it's acceptable to have 3 like constant running game. And if you do, like I said, you need to adapt and try and adapt in different, try and be effective in, because you're not going to have your normal game that you always have. So try and adapt your game and try and make life easier for yourself. And yeah, that's what I can say to that, basically. I hope that helped answer your question.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 100%. I mean, in terms of myself, I kind of still play Sunday league, and I'm a centre back, and I know within the first 5 or 10 minutes how I'm going to play. If I kind of go in and win my first 2 or 3 tackles, then 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a solid game. If for whatever reason, it's just been a bad team performance or a bad individual performance, and I've had a few. I've kind of openly documented when where we lost 9-1, and I was captain, and that really did affect me in the kind of next game, and especially not just in the next game, but I would say in the next 2 or 3 games. I just thought to myself, you know what, I'm just going to do the basics, literally that is, and that's header and kick. If I can do that, then you know what, and of course, and just get my positioning right. I don't have to be a ball carrier. I don't have to do 60, 70-yard passes. As long as I block and header, you know what, that will give me the confidence in the next couple of games to kind of go back to what I think I can do. 100%. And especially as a defender, I kind of count defenders as like very selfless. Like, we put our bodies on the line, and if mistakes happen individually, I know that can affect that by person. And I always say, you know what, just do the basics. So if you're kind of running towards goal and the kind of ball is right next to you, rather than trying to do a Cruyff turn, just kick it out for a throw in. It's fine, because again, that's literally at the end of that phase of play. And then once you kicked it out, then everyone else can get back into position. Just do the basics right as a defender. And once you kind of get that confidence, if it's a clean sheet or just kind of only conceding 1 goal in 2 games or whatever, then you know what, that confidence will breed throughout the whole back 4 and also into the attacking players. So kind of literally that's my own kind of personal experience.
100%. And it's not me being arrogant saying I have only good games. Of course I have bad game, But what I'm saying is that I can't afford to allow myself to have 2 bad games, 3 bad games. That is not acceptable. The standards I set myself, whether I need to go to bed an hour earlier or whether I need to prepare differently or do something differently, I cannot allow myself to have that. And if it is happening, like you said, adapt your game, do it simple, work rate will get you out of. And if that's what I say to people sometimes, that you can work rate yourself in a trial to get a contract, because I actually had trials for Leicester City. I had 2 trials in my life. I had 2 trials, 2 professional trials, and the second one I signed a professional contract. The Leicester City scout said to me that you're very raw. You're very raw, because I didn't have one of those games, even though I scored 2 goals against Leicester City's youth team when I was playing for Bundy's academy. He said, you're very raw, but God, you can run. You didn't stop running. You know what I mean? You didn't stop running. And they invited me off of that. They invited me for 2 weeks trial that went on to a month, that went on to nearly a couple of months, where I did really well. So work rate is, I call it, free. It's free. Work rate is free. When you run to, at the end of the game, you're literally like on the floor. That's when, like I say, you can get a man of the match. And in my case, I got a trial for a Premier League side just off of work rate. You understand?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, amazing. And before we go, could you give, actually, there's 2 questions. Could you give one tip to any players out there that are looking to actually turn pro? And also, can you give people also your like social media details as well?
Yeah, and definitely. One tip, there's so many tips. There's so many. But what I can say is, from my experience, is that, like, be realistic with yourself. Do you know what I mean? Be realistic with yourself, because I'm not going to go and pick up a basketball and say I want to be a professional basketball player. It's not going to happen. Okay, once you realize that you do, because it's hard and it's heartbreaking sometimes when you see someone working so hard, but you can see that he's not blessed with the technique, he's not blessed with football, but he still wants to. It's really, really heartbreaking, and I feel for the person, because he's got all the passion. But at the end of the day, if you was to be realistic with yourself, you can say that football is not for you. So first thing I'll say is, be realistic with yourself. If you feel you got what it takes, if you feel you got there, so you need to be able to play football. Let's get it out there. You need to be able to play football. Once you realize that, don't ever give up. You understand? Believe in yourself. No matter what obstacles in your way, jump over it or work around it. Okay? Never, ever, ever give up, because football is also about opinions. Somebody's opinion of you, another person's opinion of you, is completely different. You might not work for this team, but you might work for another a different team. So if you get knocked back or whatever, don't give up. Keep working. Don't let someone's opinion of you define who you are. My advice is, don't give up. Like I said, for my Chester City, 2 months ago, I was down and out. I sat at home. 2 months later, I'm getting national team call out. Football is a funny game. 1 minute you're here, the next minute you're somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? But you need to give yourself that chance, that lottery ticket, that chance to be able to get scouted, that chance to be able to be in a position where someone can see you. And that can only happen if you don't give up. So don't give up, guys. Believe in
Amazing.
yourself.
And Ashley, and your social media details.
And yes, you can follow me on Instagram at Derek.Asamoah. You can also follow my journey on YouTube as well. Again, my name Derek Asamoah, and also Facebook as well, Derek Asamoah, my name as well. So yeah.
Oh, amazing. And I got one more question from Vic. Vic, honestly, thank you so much for actually being on this YouTube chat for the whole hour and a bit. Thank you so much. And again, a question to you, Derek. Who's the best player you've ever played with?
The best player I've ever played with. I'm gonna say either Hugo Lloris or Mark Lessian. So I'm gonna Hugo Lloris, because I used to have personal battles with him all the time in in training, and we used to do a lot of where I used to work on my shooting when we was at Nice together. I used to do a lot of shooting, and he used to obviously I was working him and he was working me, so we used to do that all the time after training. So of course he went on to win the World Cup, so I'll say him, and also probably probably Mark Lessian as well for the Ghana national team.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. And I like want to chime in, as in the best players I've played for at Sunday League level. Someone called Carl Lacey, absolutely amazing player.
Oh, wow.
And someone called actually David, and we used to call him Drogba. He literally was a spitting image of I swear down to you, spitting image of Drogba, and he played like him as well. Absolute beast. Absolute beast. So literally that's my £1 for the Sunday League players. Derek, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. This is not going to be the last time. We have been speaking for a couple of months now. So honestly, thank you so much for coming on. And guys, please, again, go on Instagram, look up Derek Asamoah, go onto YouTube. He's got training videos with his sons as well. He literally talks about work ethic. Everything that you've heard him talk about on this YouTube channel, you will see it on his. So please go there, like, subscribe, click that notification button. Trust me, it's worth the watch. So guys, thank you so much. Derek said, thank you for creating this kind of great content and giving knowledge and respect to you guys a lot. Thank you so much to you, Vic, for literally again being here for over an hour. Seriously, I so much appreciate everyone's support. So thank you so much. So guys, this is me, Tabrice. This is the Amateur Football YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe. I'm also on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter. Please feel free to DM me. I will try my hardest to get back to you. But you know what? I will get back to you. This is Tabrice signing out. Derek, thank you so much. We will definitely speak later. 100%. I salute everyone.
Thank you guys. Have a great